your, what, I said, come off the wall, and I said, get your mats, get your chair. None of that says walking. Jump on your treadmill. Jump on your bikes. Wait till I tell you what happened to me this morning. Oh, yeah. Wait till I, okay, y'all know I'm in the basement by the ball and stuff, right? Alright, there you go. Yes! Wait, let me see how this camera is working out. Hey, great. Woo, cha. Wait till I tell y'all. Oh, ah. This human experience just gets better and better and better and better. And this matter, which is a vehicle for this human experience, I'm still having camera issue, is excellent. And that's why I wake up in the morning and I give it her shine. I exercise her, honey. Let me tell you. So, wait till I tell y'all. So, did y'all see how I just jumped up on here? That's how hyped up I am. Whew, wait, y'all. Wait. In the morning, y'all. In the morning. Like 5 o'clock. So I'm sitting there. That's my meditative time. But I multitask. I do stuff too, and I can meditate. I gotta clean my glasses. That's how excited I am. I ain't gonna jump back up here like I did before, though. Wait till I tell y'all. Keep walking, keep exercising. It's gonna blow your freaking minds. Incredible. Incredible. I'm still in shock. So, I'm sitting there, okay, all shiny. So, I'm sitting there, and I says to myself, all right, you done with this voting stuff. And an ancestor came to me and said, you know who Ancestor's voice it was? Remember I told y'all when I was working on the African burial ground in New York City? And these 2 old ladies out of Brooklyn with some cult leader, Baron or something, they were part of the burial committee or the reinterment or whatever. But I do the research and everything, I found them. And she's the one that said to me when I wrote out this whole thing and I said slavery. She said, slavery? You think your ancestors wanted to be slaves? They were enslaved. They had no choices. You slavery, you have choices. You're a slave to fashion. You're a slave to fetish, fancy. But when you are enslaved, you got nothing. Don't be so stupid, she said to me. So she showed up this morning. So I just said, I ain't gonna vote. And she showed up with that attitude. That's so stupid. She said, what you ain't gonna do is pick the McCoys or the Hatfields. And then she said again, don't be so stupid. I was like, I don't know. She had been insulting me in real life. She did. How she come up in my house, insulted me in death. But I ain't rude, because she was right with the enslavement. So I said, the Hatfields and the McCoys. She said, child, you really think all that reading and stuff you do and you ain't put it together? Do you really think that all these legislative laws and stuff is in place for you, for minorities, for African Americans? It's not. They're in place for the Hatfields and the McCoys. I said, the Hatfields and the McCoys? And just that time, I'm listening to my podcast. And I was listening to the Ohio murder trial of the Wagner family from up in the hills of Ohio. 4 Wagner family members are on trial for killing 8 Roden family members. So, you remember the lady from the African burial ground that called me stupid about enslavement? She's standing there looking at me, listening while I'm listening. She said, ain't you wondered why you've been into this since the election? Why you are fascinated? And I couldn't. I had to find out everything about it. And she said, those are the Hatfields and the McCoys. I said, the Hatfields and the McCoys. She said, listen closely, stupid. And I was like, oh, lady, you only got about a couple more times call me stupid. She said, look at here. I think my camera's turned too far. Anyway. She said, look at here. She said, don't you remember in the histories when you was in elementary school and they didn't teach you nothing about African American history but everything about European history? I was like, yeah. Don't you remember every day you would pick up the paper and you would read how the Irish Protestants blew up the Catholic Protestants, and how the Catholic Scotch people was blowing up and killing the Protestant? And I said, yeah. And that lady from the African burial ground, they called me stupid because I said slave instead of enslavement. She says, if we didn't have politics in America, that's what would be going on here. And that is what's going on here in the mountains. Look at what it is. It's the McCarthys, the McCollums, it's the Scott Irish against the other Scott Irish. And up in those hills, they still killing families. But in order to stop, okay, so let me go back. The Wagner family killed 8 Roden family members because the Wagner family thought that the little girl who was with her mother, with the Roden family, was being molested because they had all been molested, because that's up in those hills. That's how the hills is. So they went in and they killed all the adults. And the child's father, the father of Hannah, who was killed, Hannah's child's father killed her because he thought the child was in danger. Hannah's child and his child was in danger. But Hannah had like a 5-week-old child in the bed. And when he shot her, then he shot her again, she fell off the bed. But he was so concerned because the baby was so new that it was starved to death, that he dragged Hannah's body back up on the bed and put her titty in the baby's mouth in case the baby wanted to nurse. And then they just killed 8 people left. Now, Hannah's baby is in foster care for her own safety. I would imagine that every Wagner up in those woods is gone. And if they staying up in those woods, they is killing each other. Because that's what they do. They're Scott Irish. They're the Hatfields and the McCoys. So what rich American people did, because the fighting of the Hatfields and the McCoys was interfering with the enslavement camps and them getting their cotton out and their veggies and their sugar cane out. So the rich people came together. They had to do laws to punish the Hatfields and the McCoys to stop them from doing it. But you see, it didn't stop. As our election is playing out, a trial is playing out of 4 Wagner hillbillies that killed 8 Rodin hillbillies. And the 4 Wagner hillbillies thought they were saving the grandchild or child. And the child that they thought they were saving is so far in the foster care system that she'll be raped at least by 5 or 6 foster fathers before she even reaches adulthood. Now you say to yourself, Vicky, why did you say that? They didn't save her. It had nothing to do with Hannah's child. It had everything to do with the Scott Irish hillbillies. So you see, I was never voting. I was picking sides. I was going with the McCoys and not the Hatfields. And over my years voting, I've been with the Hatfields and not with the McCoys. But I don't want to do that no more. The Hatfields and the McCoys have come together to attack the government. And believe it or not, until it does, it has nothing to do with me. I voted for 47 years not to be an old lady with only enough income coming in to buy dog food. Like in 1975. And a can of dog food knocked me on the head. Because it had nothing to do with the dog food. It had nothing to do with the money. It had everything to do with the Hatfields and the McCoys. McConnell, Maduga, Makaka, Matuga, Badiga, Diga. That's legislation. Now, to keep the Hatfields, the McCoys, the Wagners, the Roden, all those mountain folks that killed each other for generations and generations and generations, like the Hutu and the Tutsis. Legislation is in place for them. What a morning. And when that thought came clear to me, I put on the radio because I want to hear what the weather is. And I turned on that radio, and the first song I heard was Alicia Keys' song, That Girl Is on Fire. I got it. I got it. I ain't fucking around with the Hatfields and the McCoys no more. Nah. I'm not enslaved anymore. So I really don't have to play them games. I don't care if listen, the Hatfields gonna attack the McCoys in Washington. They've been fighting on the hills forever. Look, they said future and past. In Ireland, they blew each other and killed each other up over a religion, a secret book. For years, 20, 30, 50 years. And the government, England, had to bring in Africans, foreigners, had to start letting them come into Ireland to break up the minutiae. Then they had to put legislation in place. Just like here. The Hatfields or the McCoys. I'm walking, so happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. I'm walking. Yes, I'm walking. I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Yes, I'm walking. I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Yes, I'm walking. I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. Yeah, y'all, yeah. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Now, the Wagners, which is the current day Hatfields and the McCoys. You see how he put 2 bullets into a woman's head, knocked off the bed. A young girl, Hannah, they said, was 22. She started being fondled with when she was like 10 or 12. That's mountain stuff. So fell off the bed. He put her back on the bed because he was worried that the 5-week or 5-day-old baby she just had would starve. So he took her chest and put it in the baby's mouth because he was worried. So this morning something said, don't you see? You ain't never been voting. You've been picking the Hatfields or the McCoys. Stop picking. Stop picking. This is going on for generations and generations from the Hill. And so it brought it to my attention when someone says, Mick McConnell got back in again. They don't know what he did. He ain't got to do nothing but breathe. That's Hill, folks. That's Hill law. They even talk about, oh shoot, what is that thing when you vote and the son and the McCoys have more lenient for the vote than the Hatfields? I can't think of what they call it now. But it's where the cult leaders, the rich people in Congress and stuff that put laws in to keep the Hatfields and the McCoys from being on top of each other. They put this in place. So, that's who it is. I don't want no more Hatfields, and I don't want no more McCoys. That's why they took away Roe v. Wade. I listened to the tapes from the trial and all the podcasts and everything. And they all was touched on. That's why they don't want them babies dead. It ain't got nothing to do with us. They ain't never gonna stop us. Because they don't want to touch us. They still, but the Hatfields and McCoys, the Wagners and the Roden, still think if they walk by a black person, black come off. Okay? They are homeschooled by parents who can't even read. By parents who direct you to kill 8 people. That's who homeschooled you. They ain't never gonna stop fighting. That's what they do. I remember current events. I used to go into school, sit in school. First they would talk about the Catholic Irish, the Protestant Irish, and the Scottish, and they fighting, they going, and but here in this country, when you look at the legislators, there are the Hatfields or McCoys. Everybody else is just decoys. The Hatfields or the McCoys. And either always a Hatfield going to win or McCoy going to win because they got to keep fighting each other. It's what they do. It's what they love. We don't know. If we'd stayed in Africa, we could have probably been like that. But we ain't get a chance to find out. Our ancestors was drugged over here to this Hatfield McCoy bullshit. Don't you understand why they got to say, oh, the black people taking over the politicians? That's for the Hatfields and the McCoys. You see how they climbed that building. That was the Hatfields and the McCoys. They've done it once. They are going to continue to attack the building. Past, future. Look up the Hatfields and the McCoys. Look up the Wagners and the Rodens. Just look up Hill people live family vendettas for years. "30 years from now, a Wagner will be standing somewhere with their child and be cut down, and won't nobody know, but somebody from the Roden family, they put it all the way through, and he was just got to carry out the vendetta. That ain't got nothing to do with us. I declare I do not pick a Hatfield nor a McCoy. I do not pick a Wagner or a Roden. I don't want to be in your game anymore." And that's another thing that got me this morning. How about this? I said, ain't this something? 47 years of voting, and all I got is hit in the head with a can of dog food. And you know what that lady from the African burial ground? If I'd have known by involving myself in the African burial ground she'd be sticking around with me, I wouldn't have did it. Well, the lady from the African burial ground said to me, when I put that in my head, I said, 47 years, voting, participating in government, and all I got is hit in the head with a can of dog food. She said, "You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes." I said, "You ain't got to tell me no more. You done insult me about the enslavement. Now you call me playing stupid games because y'all said vote. You didn't know it had nothing to do with us. It's the Hatfields and the McCoys." So then the African burial ground lady said, "What you going to do now?" I said, "Leave it go." She said, "Exactly. You know the history. They'll start eating themselves. 5 million in a gas chamber. They fighting right now. Look at it. Russia and Iraq. That's what they do. Stay out of it. We got to stay out of it. It ain't got nothing to do with us. They's the Hatfields and the McCoys, and they always going to fight." Now, the Hutus and the Tutsis and Rwanda, they either learn their lesson, because remember, first the Hutus annihilated 5 million Hutsis. 30 years later, the Hutsis came back and eliminated 5 million, but supply is low. You done killed off all the dicks. Supply is low. So they haven't been, they trying, but they haven't been able to war against each other because Ottomans is dead. But that's not the problem here for us. Don't go in no Ukraine war. I know a lot of y'all colored people, y'all, I guess you gotta go. Because you ain't got no money, y'all young people, you don't want to take no chance on becoming capitalism. Get out there and hustle. You hustle the drugs, but all these other things you can make and hustle and will buy, as the internet has showed you. Will buy. And stay away from that. It's just the Hatfields and the McCoys. Legislation passed. They overturned Roe v. Wade because of the Hatfields and the McCoys. Didn't you see how they ran up in the Capitol? That was the Hatfields and the McCoys together. Do you not see how destructive they are? So no, I don't support a Hatfield or McCoy, a Wagner, nor a Roden. That's Hill stuff. That's Hill justice. And that's how they take care of it. Every time we vote as African Americans, we put our foot in the Hatfields and McCoys, and it ain't got nothing to do with us. As you can see. 47 years ago, I was told if I work hard, pay Social Security, was good, mind my P's and Q's, when I came time to retire, I would have more money than enough to buy a can of dog food from my Social Security. But no. 1974, ancestors was eating, grandparents was eating, they hadn't had no money. Eating dog food, canned food. 2023. No money in Social Security, still dog food. But the only thing difference is I have to pay welfare to doctors. Every month I have to give doctors $200. If I never use them, now you say to yourself, then why pay the $200 a month? Hatfields and McCoy. Because if I don't pay the $200 a month, if I get sick, ain't no doctor going to treat me. Because I didn't pay my extortion money to them. I did not pay my extortion money. So after voting all these years, all I got was extorted by the Hatfields and the McCoys. I have to pay $200 a month to a doctor if I don't never see him. Now you say, what happens to all that money when it adds up? This is where the Hatfields and McCoy legislation comes through. They'll legislate to drop it all in their pockets. That's how extortion works. So no, I'm done with the Hatfields and the McCoys. I'm telling you, I'm done with the Hatfields and the McCoys. It's all a bunch of bullshit. And in the end, all I got was extorted. 47 years of voting. And I came out on the other side having to pay $200 a month to a doctor's organization. I have no idea what it is. They said Medicaid, Medicare, but they say that's free, but then it ain't, but then it is. And then, see the Hatfields and McCoys? You can't make no sense of them. The Wagners killed 8 Hill Roden family members to save one little girl that wasn't saved. That's our legislative system in America. I don't want the Hatfields. I don't want the McCoys. I don't care about the Hatfields. I don't care about the McCoys. I don't care about the Rodens. I don't care about those people. I'm out. I played that stupid game for 47 years, and I got a stupid prize. Extortion. Like, comment, share, honey. I better be careful. I'm going to get a video that I don't want. Hey! Thanks for coming on the walk, y'all. So you don't got to be in the game no more. It's always going to be the Hatfields and the McCoys. Some years the Hatfields win. Some years the McCoys win. Some years the Hootsies win. Some years the Hootsies win. Some years the Wagners win. Some years the Roden win. They fight and they kill. And voting is for them to try to stop them from killing each other. I'm out. I said kill each other. Blow each other up. Hatfield McCoys. Do what you do. You eat each other, you eat each other. Eat each other. African Americans, let us step back. Yeah! What a wonderful one. And then, when that came to reality, to fruition for me, I turned on that video and it said, the universe said, that girl is on fire. I said, oh shoot. That's it. Ain't got nothing to do with voting. I don't want the Hatfields. I don't want the McCoys. I don't want the Wagners. I don't want the Rodents. I don't want the Hutus. And I don't want the Tutsis. I'm out. Have a great weekend. See you Monday, same time.